You know what's neat is what we have done that. Ron, I'll tell you something. It's amazed me. I have x-rays sitting over here where a guy had fractured his upper femur, his right femur. He was a quadriplegic. He had fractured his upper right femur about 12 years before I met him. It healed in a 28-degree angle, bulging his thigh up here and pulling this right leg 2 inches shorter than the left. And my gut had extreme scoliosis to the right. The 11th month, and I've told you about this case before, but I have the x-rays, and Fox News has filmed those x-rays. They couldn't believe it. I would like to put some of those stories that the Fox News, ABC News, some of these newscasts have done on us. I would really like to get that up for you, and I'm going to attempt to do that. I've got them in VHS format. You know, that's a long time ago, so I got to find a way to get them up on the YouTube for you, and you can see kind of, even when the state came after me originally, it made a lot of news, of course. I had news media around me all the time because, you know, they wanted to go after me, put me in jail and everything else. Oh, I was going to tell you that story. In the 11th month, his leg pulled itself straight on its own, and his back pulled itself straight on its own. Now, how do you explain that power of the body to pull an old fracture that's already healed, pull it straight? I mean, I don't know. When I saw that, and a few other ones that we've had that's been on the extreme, I realized that, my God, and when I was up on 6 months on the oranges, I realized the power that the body had to heal itself, but I didn't have a clue it was that high. But I don't care what you have. I don't care how mutated your body looks. You get yourself 100% raw. You move yourself up into more of 100% fruits, berries, and melons. You start getting some herbs to clean the kidneys, to get them filtering, to get your glands up, get your bowels cleaned out. And there's nothing you can't rewind, redo, regenerate, and rebuild. Might take you a while in some cases, but come on. If a spinal bifida case born without L4 and L5, which is the kidney vertebrae, can, after 2 years of working on herself, have grown vertebrae that wasn't even there at birth, what does that tell you? You see the power of that? You see a quad up there, many videos back, how he regenerated his bone, his skeletal system, beyond belief. I mean, these were old healed fractures that bit his legs out of shape and everything, and his body literally pulled itself straight. No chiropractor, nobody. It pulled itself straight. I mean, when you see a few of these high-end cures and healings, it blows your mind. It blows your mind. It reaffirms your feet are on the right path to Wellville and beyond, because these guys are regenerating old genetics. They're regenerating old injuries that healed out of shape. The body's totally realigning, regenerating, redoing itself. Amazing. So just know you're on that road. You're on that road. And keep the sidebars up a little bit, because there's all kinds of people, snake salesmen, just like you said, George, that wants to pull you over. Take digestive enzymes. Take colostrum. That'll make your tumors grow. Take all these things like this, and it's like, no. Common sense. Stop and think. You know, whenever someone interests you, do stop and think. Does nature make it better than man? But of course, and every time. You know, it's no insult there. Man should never be insulted to think that God does it better. I've straightened up so many gnarly fingers, straight again, it's not even funny. Matter of fact, a local newspaper was in my office one day along with Fox News. And they were recording a story on a cancer case. And this little old lady, she was 70-some years old. She was an organ player at a church, and I think I brought her up before. She had gnarly fingers. She couldn't play anymore. And in 3.5 months, total raw, her fingers were all straight but one. And when they were in there with the camera, she said, well, I've got a story. And they went like this, and she showed her hands, and she made the newspaper and the story, too. I've had psoriasis so bad. I'll get some pictures sometime and show you if I can find her case. And I took a lot of pictures of her because she was one reptilian in a way. She had scales, head, that everywhere she walked was a path. You had to sweep behind her, and she'd split and bled everywhere. Only took us 3 months to get all that out of her, but at the end of the fingertip, fingertips, and that took a couple more months, and she was good. 19 years old. Bad stuff. And now they're using chemo, isn't it, for psoriasis? The 256-year-old Chinese guy. And maybe, I've got a big picture up here on the wall of him. Anybody's been in my office, 256 years old, you can Google him. Google 256-year-old Chinese guy, his story will come up. His claim is he never ate anything that grew below the ground. And the higher off the ground you ate, the more magnetics, the more power, which is spot on, you know. And yet people love to have their heads buried in the ground, minerals and all these inorganic, low electrical charge chemistries. And it's like, why are your head there? Your head should be up in the heavens, up in the fruits and the berries and the melons. Well, maybe the melons are on the ground, but